At some point in hip hop, we're gonna need to have a serious conversation about where Freddie Gibbs ranks currently, where Freddie Gibbs ranks all time, because whenever he drops a new project, it's always an album of the year contender. Freddie Gibbs over the last few years has become one of my favorite rappers, and I'm sure I'm late, but the first time I heard Freddie was on Pinata with Madlib, and I've been a big fan ever since. I feel like Pinata came out in like 2013, 2014, something like that, but I love every single Freddie Gibbs project that I've heard since I've been introduced to him. Outside of Freddie, I've never liked that project. Bandana is probably my favorite album from him, and I also really loved his 2017 EP, mixtape, whatever you want to call it, You Only Live Twice. Like, Alexis might be my favorite Freddie Gibbs song ever. So whenever I hear that Freddie Gibbs is dropping new music, I automatically get excited, but when I found out that this project was called You Only Die Once and is playing off of his other project, I was like, this is one of those albums that as soon as the clock hits midnight, I'm hitting play. And in my opinion, this album doesn't disappoint at all. The first time that I listened to this project, it quickly rose up my list of favorite albums for the year. And I feel like I've listened to this maybe 5 or 6 times at this point. And every time I hear it, I love it more and more. Like, I'm definitely gonna buy physical copies at some point. The album is only 13 tracks long, 37 minutes, which is perfect in my opinion. Quick and easy listen. This is one of those projects that fly by as soon as you hit play. And I know that we're in this streaming era, so the album cover is kind of a lost art at this point, but I'm one of those fans. I really appreciate a good album cover. I'm one of those fans that I love to see an artist take time and put thought into what's going to be the cover of this music. So when you look at his first project and you see Freddie Gibbs and it's him as this Jesus-like figure, and then you fast forward to this project and it's Freddie Gibbs on the front cover and it looks like he's fighting demons, to me that was pretty interesting. And I was hoping with this album, with the music, he was going to dive more into that, and he surely does. Starting with track 1, Freddie starts the album with Status, and the first thing I loved is that he uses the same sample as Mac Miller's song Insomniac. Love that song, and I'm sure nobody's surprised by this, but Freddie starts the album rapping his ass off. It's still young cocaine, ain't changed since my last tape, still packing on probation, motherfucker police mandate, niggas wanna vote, I don't really with nan candidate. Please go vote. Throughout this album, like I said, Freddie was rapping his ass off. Freddie is really great at his beat selection. He always picks great instrumentals. And the pocket in which he gets in when he flows his words together, the only thing that really caught me off guard, especially on the first song, was the outro. Based on the album cover, like I said earlier, I did want him to stick to this theme because I thought that could have been interesting. I just wasn't expecting him on track 1 to be like, hey, what up, y'all? It's your boy, the devil. Like, I forgot he did that on his other project that he had, but it was from the perspective of Jesus talking to him. Now on this project, we get the devil. And so the devil tells Freddie that he's straying away from the program. And so to me, what does that mean? He's talking about money, he's talking about drugs, he's talking about sex and women, you know, all the fun stuff in life. And so I was really looking forward to him diving deeper into that angle. And so we get to track 2, Cosmo Freestyle, and spoiler, Freddie is rapping his ass off, hurting on the inside behind this tough shit and this misogyny. See the man in the mirror ain't gonna lie to me. Whole lot of snake niggas, they surrounded me. Can't even blame them if they want to body me. I love when Freddie raps like this and he's able to reflect on his life. And that's why as a fan, sometimes it's kind of hard to see the way he moves outside of music and the way he moves in real life. Like, bro, just chill. Like, I don't need you out here trying to be gangster. I don't need to see you getting jumped by Benny the Butcher and a bunch of other people at a restaurant. Like, just chill. Just keep rapping, keep making your good music, keep making your TV shows and your movies, keep having sex with a bunch of beautiful women. Like, I've never met a Freddie Gibbs fan and they were like, man, I really want to see his gangster. The devil comes back reminding Freddie that he can't go back to his old life, saying, I'm giving you all this money, I'm giving you all these beautiful women. And then the devil drops one of the coldest lines on this project. He says, who needs school when you got bitches? Can the church say amen? I'm college educated and even I feel like I need to get that tatted somewhere on me. But this is just a great song, great beat, great rap, and this is easily one of my favorite records on this album. And usually when I do these type of review videos, I usually go track by track and I break down what I like, what I don't like about this song. On this album, I don't really have that many negative things to say. The next few songs, Wolverine, Brick Fees, Rabbit Island, all 3 of those are easily contenders to be my favorite on this album. I feel like I've said that 4 different songs could be my favorite and we're only 5 tracks in. Rabbit Island though, we need to stop and talk about that for a second because I feel like it's gonna be a big topic. Freddie Gibbs clearly takes a shot, a jab, whatever you want to call it. He clearly disses J. Cole. He says, Gangsta Kane, I ain't ashamed like Jermaine, I won't delete. Bro, I hate this so much because even as a big J. Cole fan, I can't really say anything. J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers of all time. I am not embarrassed to say I've almost cried to J. Cole's music before. I live my truth. It is what it is. But I love J. Cole. I've been listening to J. Cole since 2010, 2009, whenever the warm-up came out. J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers ever. I will defend J. Cole until the day that I die. We all know what J. Cole did. As a big J. Cole fan, J. Cole and that Kendrick Lamar situation, he looks absolutely nuts. He looks ridiculous. Him talking about, Kendrick, you can take a jab at me, I'm just gonna have to take it on the chin. J. Cole is clearly not built like that. J. Cole is a nice guy, which is cool. We need nice people in this world. But J. Cole looks absolutely nuts. But that's the grave that J. Cole dug for himself. Whether you like J. Cole, whether you hate J. Cole, people are gonna use him as a punchline. Whether in rap battles and rap songs, whatever, J. Cole has the potential to be a punchline. He might even be a verb at some point. Like, you know how in rapping people say, oh, you got ethered, or in football they'll be like, oh, you got mossed. J. Cole might get added to that list. But Wolverine, Brick Fees, Rabbit Island, great songs. 5 songs in, no misses. The next few songs, It's Your Anniversary, great, yeah, great. I could keep going track by track and tell you what I think about each one, but spoiler, I enjoy all these songs. Like, I'm not even like a big Freddie Gibbs stan or nothing like that. Like, I don't know if I'm crazy. I don't know if I'm glazing, as the kids would say. Like, I don't know what the conversation around this album is online, but I just know for me, I really love this album. The only song that I didn't like on my first few listens was Walk It Off, but even that grew on me. But with this video, I don't want to just keep rehashing the same point. I don't want to just be like, oh, I think this song is great. Oh, I think this song is great. What is Freddie Gibbs' legacy? Like, what is Freddie Gibbs' status? Because I feel like in certain hip-hop conversations, when certain topics are brought up, I feel like I don't really hear Freddie Gibbs' name mentioned like that. And I don't know why. I don't know if this is the reasoning, and I'm saying this as a Freddie Gibbs fan, but I feel like the reason why he's not mentioned in certain conversations is because outside of his music, it seems like he rubs people the wrong way. I am a grown-ass man, and I'm not embarrassed to say this at all, but I love Doja Cat. I think Doja Cat is amazing. I loved her last album. I did an album review on her project, Scarlet. I'm not doing this for selfish promo, but check that out if you got the time. But I think Doja Cat is amazing. I think she's extremely talented, and I kind of put her and Freddie Gibbs in the same boat to an extent. In my opinion, I think Doja Cat is a star. I think Doja Cat is a superstar, but I do feel like she gets penalized sometimes because of the way that she moves outside of music. And I'm saying this as a big Doja Cat fan. Sometimes she moves a little weird. And when it comes to somebody like Freddie Gibbs, it's like, what are you really gonna say? Like, what are you gonna say? He's not a great rapper? I feel like all of his recent projects have all been critically acclaimed. I've seen him more in TV shows. I feel like he's doing movies now. So when it comes to acting, he's also kind of doing his thing. But it's just the way that he moves on social media, some of the things that he does in his real life and his personal life, it just seems like he rubs people the wrong way. Like, every single time I see his name mentioned on social media, I'm seeing a bunch of people calling him a nickname, in which I'm not gonna repeat. I mean, he's been in public beefs with multiple people. He's had multiple issues with women in his relationships. And I just wonder if stuff like that, if that's the reason why people don't have him in those certain conversations. It's kind of like somebody like Wale. Like, for me, I'm a big fan of Wale. I'm from Virginia, DMV, shout out to all my DC people. But I love Wale. I think Wale is extremely underrated, but I also feel like with Wale, he's not brought up in certain conversations because it seems like people don't like him as a person. But when it comes to somebody like Freddie Gibbs and you focus just on their music, like if you just look at his album catalog, you can honestly put his discography up against anyone. Like, for the last few days, I've been seeing some people saying that Freddie Gibbs has a better album collection than J. Cole. And as a huge J. Cole fan, I do feel like you could make that argument, and this might piss some people off, but honestly, I feel like if you just look album for album, you can put his catalog up against Drake. You can put his catalog up against J. Cole. You can put his catalog up against y'all Lord and Savior, Kendrick Lamar. And I feel like you could have some real serious discussions. But if you just look at the bodies of work this man has put out, he has multiple great solo projects. He has multiple projects with producers like Madlib and Alchemist, which are great. He has a collab album with Currency that is also great. I never even thought that I would want a Currency and Freddie Gibbs album. But that's what I'm saying. When it comes to the music, musically, what negative thing can you say? And when it comes to things like mainstream and popularity, you can't really compare him to those bigger name acts like Drake, Kendrick, Cole. Like, when I was planning this video, I was thinking, like, what is Freddie Gibbs' like most popular song? Like, what is his best charting song? I have no idea. Like when I was thinking about it, the only thing I could think of was maybe his Kanye West record that he had on Vultures 1. I forgot what the song is called, but I would imagine chart-wise, I don't even know how well that song charted, but I would just imagine chart-wise that's probably his best song. But nobody that loves Freddie Gibbs, nobody is ever like, man, I really can't wait to hear that new radio single from Freddie Gibbs. And I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm glazing, maybe I'm just caught up in a hype right now. But like I said, just musically, if you go album for album with Freddie Gibbs versus anybody else, they're going to have a long day, just going off the quality of the music. I don't care if you're comparing him to Drake, Kendrick, Cole, Meek Mill, Wale, Big Sean. I'm talking about the more modern acts. It's going to be a discussion. You Only Die Once is another great album added to his resume. And like I said with these reviews, usually I go more in depth. I go song by song and talk about each one of them. But I would sound like a broken record just saying this is great, this is great, this is great. Like also with these reviews, I usually do my top 5 favorite songs. Let's see. If I had to pick my 5 favorite songs, I would say Cosmo Freestyle, Wolverine, Rabbit Island, Yeah Yeah, and On the Set. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are your thoughts on this album? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What is Freddie Gibbs' current status? Where did you rank him at? Do you think I'm crazy with this? Comparing his albums to Drake, Kendrick, Cole, and other people? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, this has been a great week in hip hop. Like earlier this week or earlier last week, Tyler the Creator dropped this project. I'm not even a big Tyler fan, but I really enjoyed his album. I was going to make a video on him as well, but I didn't have time to do that. Westside Gunn just dropped his album. Boom, 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 boom. I love Westside Gunn. I haven't listened to that yet because I've been so locked in with this Freddie Gibbs project. And I also heard that Lil Uzi dropped the project. I've always thought Lil Uzi was trash, so I'm probably never going to listen to that. But just let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Love you guys as always. Tell someone you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.